Piercing waivers, why you should read them before you sign them. Coming up next on Body Piercing Basics, episode number 132. So you might want to stick around. For those who are new to the channel, my name is DaVo. I'm a professional body piercer and have been since 1994. I own and operate the Axiom Body Piercing Studio right here in Des Moines, Iowa, inside Skin Kitchen Tattoo. Waivers. Why should you read them? Well, there's a lot of important reasons why you should. We've all gone through the experience of either getting tattooed or pierced, and we walk in, you have to sign out something, either on a tablet or on your phone in advance, or, you know, the good old-fashioned paper kind. So what are waivers? Waivers are a number of things. They do a number of jobs in the whole process of getting pierced or tattooed. Primarily, we'll focus on piercing, but all of this applies to tattooing also. The first thing is consent of the piercee to get the piercing. Basically, we're asking you to consent to getting this done. You're also releasing the piercer in the studio from liability, that you actually asked for this and they did it because of that. Also, there's verification of age, that you're of the proper age to consent to getting the piercing done, and that varies greatly from place to place throughout the planet. The other thing is that you agree to take the responsibility to actually heal this piercing, and taking on that responsibility also eliminates some of the liability from the artist themselves. Then it's a questionnaire. More than anything else, what we're doing is we're giving you something that is going to give you a number of things that you may not have thought about to know whether or not you should get this piercing in the first place. Now, what should you look for? First one is allergies. There should be a list of all the products or possible products that they could use in the piercing, what materials they're made out of. Things like the antiseptic they're using to disinfect or surgical scrub, any type of rubbing alcohol, the metals they're using, all of that stuff is listed there for you to have the opportunity to go, oh, I'm allergic to that. They need to use something else. The other thing is pre-existing health conditions. We have no access to your health records. We have no idea if you have any pre-existing conditions that may impair your body's ability to go through the piercing smoothly and heal it correctly. So we always try to cover these things in that release form. So it's going to talk about things like immune deficiency disorder, diabetes, hemophilia, blood clotting disorders, pregnancy, hepatitis, COVID-19. The reason why we do this is to protect you. And if you are having have some of these issues, each one of those have their own little nuances that need to be discussed. And whatever in doubt, consult your doctor. Your piercer's not a health expert. We sometimes appear to be, but the reality is nobody is going to be has access to as much information as your healthcare providers. The next thing we're going to talk about is probably going to be medications. Mainly, we're concerned with blood thinners, and the reason being is that it impairs the body's ability to clot in some cases, especially if you're on multiple ones, maybe you had a stroke or a heart issue or what have you. We don't have a situation where you end up in the emergency room because the blood will not stop. The next one would be medications that impair your ability to consent to getting the piercing. And this goes into the next part we'll talk about, which is intoxication. If you're under the influence of something that makes you loopy, not make good judgment, etc., we should know about that in advance, especially if you are currently taking that. The next thing is intoxication. Nobody should ever get pierced, tattooed, etc., while under the influence of controlled or uncontrolled substances. That means alcohol, drugs, etc. I don't care if it comes from planet Earth or what have you. The reality is it impairs your ability to consent. Thus, in most states, most places in the world, if you can't consent to do something, you're not consenting. And the problem with, there's always this idea that, oh, I'll get high or drunk and it'll make the whole thing better. It makes it much worse. It tends to increase your anxiety because most of these things are amplifiers of your current mental state. So you're more likely to freak out. You're more likely to move. You're more likely to bleed because a lot of these thin the blood out, and the outcome is not going to be the best. Any reputable piercer or tattooist is going to say, no, I won't do this today. Come back when you're sober. Last one is kind of a newer thing, but it's something that I've been contemplating whether or not to add to our release forms or not, and that is release to use photos of yourself, your likeness, the piercings, etc., in promotional information or promotional items and etc. in the future. As cameras have become a very big part of our life through the use of cell phones, you really have a situation where a lot of people are concerned about how often are images of themselves getting out there on the internet. Most studios rely on the cooperation of their clients for photographs of their work. So it might have that on the release form, and I'll probably be adding it soon. Well, that's all I have to talk about on this subject. I hope I gave you an idea of what you should look for when reading your waiver or release form the next time you go in and get a new piercing or tattoo. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so. Give us a thumbs up. Let us know that you liked it because we like it when you like it. If you got something to add that you've noticed on consent forms or release forms, waivers, etc., put those in the comments. Also, check out our merch store. Link is in the description. Till next time, here's hoping all your piercings heal with ease and without a single issue. And if you're in the Des Moines, Iowa area, I hope to see you for your body piercing needs in the future. Have a good day, everybody. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.